Hi there, it's Caitlin Rasmussen, and today is June 29th, and it's like 4:30. Okay, so what are the positive aspects of workplace friendships, and what are the negative aspects? So the positive aspects, in my perspective, are that you enjoy coming to work, and like just being around people that you enjoy is going to make you want to be there more. Better morale around the office. I feel like you communicate better with people that you are friends with. I know I do, definitely, and I think it can help with communication and just happiness around the office and make it a more, I don't know, enjoyable place to be. But I think that the negative aspects are it can cause a lot of distractions. I think that I know I goof off with all my friends, especially my best friend. If I worked with her, there would be a lot of issues because we don't take things very seriously, and we're always laughing and goofing off, and we don't really work. I guess we wouldn't if we worked together. And then you get sidetracked really easily, and you just don't take things as seriously when you're talking with friends. If it's more of a business setting and it's people that you only know as a business, like as a coworker, you're going to be a lot more serious around them than you are with somebody that you go out and have a drink with on the weekend and are actually friends with. Now, I had trouble with this one. I don't really know of many positive aspects of a workplace relationship, but I just it's been instilled in me since I was young that it's not appropriate to have a relationship in the workplace. I know they're inevitable sometimes, but I would never cross that bridge. I think the positive aspects would maybe be that it makes going to work easier because you get to be around your significant other or whatever, and you may work together really well, and you could work together on some projects, get some things done. But other than that, I really don't see many positives to it. There are definitely a lot of negatives. Again, like the friendships, I see there being a lot of distractions. I know that if I'm around my boyfriend, he's kind of the only thing I want to think about, and I want to look at him, and I want to talk to him, and I want to kiss him, and be boyfriend and girlfriend, and you get sidetracked really easy. And also, if you get into a fight, like outside of work, it can affect your work in the office, and if things go south in your relationship, it can cause a lot of problems in the workplace. And if it's your boyfriend, it's one thing, and then if you're just sleeping with somebody that you're working with but you're not really in a relationship, it can cause I don't know if it's, which this is especially bad in my eyes, like a boss and just an employee, that can cause a lot of favoritism and just people speculating that this person's getting special treatment because of sleeping with the boss. I don't agree with any of that, and I think it should be banned, but I know that it's really hard to do that. So with the next one, provide detailed feedback to the advice offered in the article. I think that all of the advice is very strong. I think that you can't implement an exact rules, set of rules, because people are going to want to sneak around. They're going to do what they want to do, and if you tell them they can't do it, it's going to make them want to do it even more, and they're going to have a little bit of an anger or I don't know, just something against you because you won't let them be together. And then, of course, if it's the manager and the subordinate, I think that you should step in, or at least have a conversation with them and say you can't have special treatment, and it needs to be completely out of the office. You can't show any signs of affection towards each other, around others in the office and things like that. And then about them, if it's two just coworkers, not a manager and an employee, then I think that he was definitely right that you can't really say anything, but if it starts to cause an issue with them, being too touchy-feely in the office or something, I know that would make me very uncomfortable, and I think that if that starts to happen, that they need to step in and definitely have a conversation with them, say you can't do this, because it'll instill a little fear in them that, okay, my job's on the line because they might fire me, if I don't get this under control. So I thought that article gave a lot of really good advice, and there's a lot of stuff I agreed with if there were to be a relationship in the office, but I do not agree with relationships in the office. So reflect on the workplace romance article. Is there a policy in place at your organization? Well, I don't currently have a job, but my most recent job when I was working for the lawyer, it's kind of a weird situation. So I didn't ever have to deal with it. So I didn't ever have any. It was a bunch of women and one guy. So we didn't ever really have to worry about it. But it was one guy, and he was married to one of the other women, and they owned the company together. Like that, she ran the real estate side, and he ran the law office side. And I never noticed any issues. They were never very lovey-dovey. It wasn't anything like that. And I think that they handled it really well. And I think because they started the companies together, it's different, but it's not like a boss dating somebody lower. It's like two bosses that were married and then started the company. So I thought that was okay. And I didn't ever really know about any sort of policy about dating because it was me and then 4 women that were 20 years older than me. So I don't think they really needed to discuss any of that with us. Everyone else was married, and then I was just the assistant. So as I review the chapter, okay. So it says, share about a misunderstanding that took place in a group and steps you took to alleviate the issue. I never really had any issues like that because the two main jobs I've had, I've been an assistant and I've been a cheerleader. In both jobs, I was just told what to do all the time. I didn't really have an option or a say in many things. It was with the office job, I was told, okay, staple these papers, do this, make these copies, go get me coffee, just very straightforward things. It wasn't anything I never really needed to have an opinion on. And then with cheer, it was okay, learn this dance, go to this appearance, do this thing. I never really had to work through any issues. So that question's kind of hard for me to answer because I haven't really been in that situation, so I don't know. So the article of The Secret of Great Groups. So I liked where it said that there has to be a common goal because I think when there's a goal that everyone wants to achieve, they're all going to work harder. If they work on it because they have to and it's their job, they're not really going to work as hard as if it's something that they know should be done and they want to do it and they're motivated. And then my favorite quote, it's kind of a cut-up quote that I shortened, but it says, great groups make strong leaders, and then it says, you cannot have a great leader without a great group, and vice versa. And I really, really like that because being a cheerleader, I did competitive cheer, I did, every aspect of cheerleading, and I've been on teams where you have a captain. And I've been on teams where you have a really great captain, and I feel like having a great captain makes the team better. My freshman and sophomore year cheering in high school, they were just fantastic. We had the greatest captains, and we just got along so well, and it was so much fun, and we worked harder, and our team was better. We had better skills, and we worked harder, and we learned more, and we just were overall just way better. In the next 2 years, we had, I guess it was my freshman and sophomore year in college, I had awful captains, awful cheer captains. And our team just didn't get along. We didn't blend, and we never hung out outside of practice. We didn't have a real friendship. It wasn't a good bond and relationship like it should be. And I kind of owe the close bond I had in high school to the captains because, like I said, you can't have like it says in the quote, you can't have a great leader without a great group, and vice versa. I really don't think you can have a great group without a great leader. Okay, so explain the quote, leaders are born rather than made. Okay, so this basically means that being a leader is a personality trait and it's not something you learn. And I agree with that to an extent. I think that I'm a natural born leader. I think it's in me, and I want to lead people, and I want to be the front runner, and there's all these different feelings I have when I'm the head of a group, and it's great, and I love that feeling. And there's some people that shy away from it, but I think that if you're in the right situation, anybody can be a leader. If it's a group of people and you're normally the shy one and you don't step forward, but it's something that you have a very strong passion for, and you know exactly what you want to do, and you know how to do it, and you know everything that you need to know, I think that you can break out of your shell and become a leader in the right situation. And then, why do followers put up with bad leaders? I absolutely think that they do that because they're too afraid to step forward and step out of their shell and say that the leader's being, being a bad leader. And also, I think that the followers think that the bad leader is, I don't know, they know more maybe because they're so confident. Even if they're being bad and rude, they're confident about what they're saying and what they're doing, and it may be intimidating to people, and they, I don't know, it makes them uncomfortable and not want to step forward. All right, sweet.